This is week 2 of the 5th season of Grand Arena, and in the first round I'm up against Monte Cristo. Now Monte Cristo and I have very similar rosters if you look at the characters that we have relicked, the characters that we have unlocked. There are some differences here and there, like he has a relic Mother Talzin, I have a relict, what do I have that he doesn't have? Well, there's definitely going to be something in there like B2, for example. But in general, some Nightsisters, Nest over here. So pretty similar in that regard. I have somewhat better mods than him. So in general, it was a relatively easy matchup. But looking at his history and the way he has played, I decided to go with a very different approach to ensure that I would beat him, considering he had quite a lot of teams. And this is what happened. I had at my top front zone here, I had my Nightsisters and my General Skywalker team. And at the bottom, I had my Grievous with BB-8 and I had my Darth Revan team. Now, the reason why I went so heavy in the front wall is that I could tell from his Grand Arena history that he quite likes to be in control if he's up against very strong opponents. So I figured that against me, he would likely keep his General Skywalker to mirror mine. And he would also keep his Darth Revan, which was actually faster than mine. Now, people often say that if you have the faster Darth Revan, you have an advantage, but I fundamentally disagree there. Because if my opponent has a stronger Darth Revan, a faster one, and puts it on defense, and I put mine on defense as well, then it comes down to who can counter Darth Revan the best, which evens the playing field. Now, if he realizes I'm the faster one and my opponent probably can't outspeed me anyways, so they'll put theirs on defense, then he is forced to make a decision there. Do I trust myself to counter the Darth Revan team better than my opponent counters mine, or am I going to mirror match it? And if he mirror matches it, if he takes out my Darth Revan on offense with his, then he's always going to get pretty crappy banners. You're almost never going to 60 banner a Darth Revan mirror match. I would love to see someone do that. I think I've done it once, because I got incredibly lucky, but that's pretty much it. So you're going to lose banners by going heavy on offense. Same thing with the General Skywalker team here. You will always lose your 5s to a sacrifice, because my team will kill his Rex, for example, or his Arc, or his Echo. So no matter what he does by trying to be so much in control, he will lose banners in the front wall. Now, I actually thought that he would take out my Nightsisters with his Padme team, and he hasn't actually done that. If I look at his front zone over here, I see Geos and I see Kira Nest. So he's desperately trying to draw out my Traya team over here, which, combined with the fact that he didn't beat my Nightsisters, makes me believe that he might have put his Padme in the back here. Now, considering the kind of teams that I had and the fact that he could see beforehand that I had a relatively strong Nightsister team, I would have figured he would really keep his Padme for offense. So perhaps he did actually use Padme and failed with it. I don't exactly know. We've been messaging a little bit. He told me that I had a great roster, will be a hard fight. We talked a little bit about what kind of guilds we were in. And this morning he started saying that my defense was really strong, he didn't know what to do, and that his RNG was really bad. But then he explained that my Nightsisters destroyed his Traya and my Grievous destroyed his Jedi Knight Revan. But Traya is never really going to succeed against an Asajj lead team, because Asajj leadership reduces turn meter a lot, and you just keep losing turn meter and you don't really end up taking a whole lot of turns. So never use your Traya on an Asajj lead Nightsister team. And he asked for feedback. I told him I would record, but he said that he had no choice with his defense but to use Traya against my Nightsisters. So that confirms my belief that he might have Padme in the back there. Now, Jedi Knight Revan against Grievous, I saw in his Grand Arena history that every time he faced a Grievous BB-8 team, he lost. Because if I look at the relics on his Jedi Knight Revan team, it's only Grandmaster Yoda, which should be doable to beat the team still, but I do have relics on my Magna Guard and B2, so that might make it too difficult for him to break through, and that is what happened, which is why he tried to spend his other teams to get through, but ultimately couldn't. So he actually didn't end up clearing any zones because of that, and you could argue, okay, maybe you could have set a stronger defense in the front wall. My approach was going to be that I didn't think he could clear one of the two front walls, because I thought he would keep Padme and then he would have definitely beaten my Assage and gotten to the back. But I thought that I would be able to beat either both of his front walls or be more efficient on half of the map. So I went pretty defense heavy. There is a risk of not full clearing to that, which is not necessarily a problem as long as you end up being more efficient. So now that he hasn't cleared the zone, there isn't really any pressure on me if I want to get the win. As with the teams that I have left, my Padme, my Traya, etc., I should be able to clear a single zone, which would give me the win, as I don't think he's still going to manage to take out either of these, and he said as well that he's done. So it's really a matter of getting a good strategic board, looking at the history of your opponent, and then trying to figure out what their playstyle is and how exactly you can use that to your advantage. And I know that sounds very labor intensive or very time consuming, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. The more you do this stuff, the quicker you can identify your opponent's weaknesses, their preferences, and the quicker you can come up with some kind of strategy to stop that. So having these zones over here, he does actually have a pretty tricky Newt team. I will not be using my Geos against it, not because I'm afraid after the past 2 rounds, but because he has Zaalbar in here. And the issue with Zaalbar is that he will constantly take over with his taunt. Heck, I might end up doing it, but we'll see. But he will constantly take over with his taunt, and he has this unique here where he stacks 20% defense each time he takes damage from an attack. So what that means is that if my Geos attack everyone together with 5 or 6 characters, he will stack 100% defense, and combined with his crit avoidance unique here, and maybe an arrow as well, nope, he would be pretty tough to take down. Now the main thing my Geos will do is just dispel his taunt, and then I can pick off the others, so in that regard it's okay, though I would be pretty worried about Droidica here shooting me out, as he's definitely going to have the damage to shoot through a single Geonosian. So I don't really think I want to use my Geos here, but perhaps I end up having to. So I'm not quite sure yet what I want to do there. Then in the Django team, these are like about 260 speed, I believe. If I recall this correctly, yes. And he has Canderous in there, who also benefits from Django lead, because Django gives speed to scoundrels. So Django will be hitting pretty hard as well. So what I'm going to do actually is go to the bottom here. Now, if he didn't have Padme behind, and his strategy was to try to force me to Traya one team and then struggle against the other, then that would not really be a great strategy actually. Because the Geos here, you can take out with just Traya and Scion. You really don't have any use for Nihilus in this team other than losing more banners. So you could do that and then keep Nihilus together with some tanks and some healers and just pick off this team one by one. So if that's your strategy, if you're a person who does this, who sets a Kira Rayjetta training, Kira Nest team, this can also be countered by Rayjetta training is what I wanted to say. So there's quite a few options to deal with both of these teams that don't involve Traya. So if that's your play, it kind of makes it obvious what you're trying to do, and in that regard it might be smarter to split it up somehow, to not put both of them in a single zone, because yeah, it gives away what might be behind or what you're getting at. But maybe I'm just looking into it too deep. So anyway, I'm going to start here with the Geos match. Now the Geos Spy, I always check the modding here to see how much crit chance they have, because more crit chance can sometimes be a little riskier. Now I shouldn't time out against these like I did in the past, so I'm going to be using my nest here to start off and show you that the counter does work. And if it doesn't, I will clean it up with Traya, and maybe I won't be able to clear his back zone, but like I said, it's not really a problem. So my Plo is going to get picked off here, which should not be any issue. And then we're going to have a pretty slow fight. For those of you who watched my last Grand Arena round, which I lost against that very big whale account, what he actually ended up doing was using Darth Revan together with Han and Chewie to pick off my 5s. And then after that, he cleaned it up with, trying to remember what exactly he used. I'm not entirely sure. I think he used part of his CLS team or something like that. Not quite sure. Or his Padme. No, he had his Padme on defense, that wasn't it. Yeah, I don't exactly remember, but he ended up picking it apart in a couple tries, and that was enough for him to get the win. So great job to him. Now hopefully this fight won't take 4 minutes before I even start countering, but as you can see I'm already hitting relatively hard on the brute here. So I should be alright. I just hope I don't get too many dazes from Sunfac. That's always the thing. Once you have the tenacity down, it really doesn't matter how much tenacity up you have. And the only way from that point to get rid of the daze is to either finally take a turn after Poggle keeps reducing your turn meter, or for Spy's big special to dispel your daze. And if those don't properly line up, like if Spy and Sunfac use their specials very far apart, then you don't spend a whole lot of things. You don't spend a whole lot of the fight countering. Now, this is also an interesting thing. I'm unable to select Spy here, even though he's not stealthed. This is a bug that, funny, Geonosian's a bug. I get it, but it's a bug. It's really annoying. It almost cost me a Grand Arena match once where even though he comes out of stealth, I can't target him. But yeah, not a whole lot I can do about that. Now, as for the daze and the spell thing I was talking about, it's completely out of your control. There's nothing you can do about that. So you kind of just have to live with it and hope it doesn't screw you over. But really last time, I've done this battle 20, 30 times maybe, and the last time is the first time where it didn't properly line up. So in general, it shouldn't be a problem. This is risky. Spy here has, and I'm still unable to select him, and I would be able to one-shot him here actually. He's going to take a turn right after me, so I might lose my nest here. That could have been the kill shot there, but I had no debuffs on me. So that's the main risk that you run in this fight other than timing out, where Spy is just able to pick you off. Now with Poggle gone, there won't be turn meter reduction anymore, so now my nest and Spy should stay pretty far apart. And Spy is gone, you are gone, and Sunfac should be dead here, and that's it. So that's 59 banners. You lose a couple of course because Plo dies, but it's not too much of an issue. Alright, now if I wanted to play this one safe against Kira Nest, I could bring in my Traya and Nihilus. A lot of people are afraid of high relic nests and they like to use their Traya against that to annihilate. I could play it safe and do that. For banner's sake, it's a really strong nest. But I wanted to try something experimental. Because I can afford to, and I haven't done this before, so I want to give it a shot. Now, as mentioned, I had my BB-8 on defense to speed up the Grievous team and make it tougher for him. So my Rage Jedi training does not have BB-8. And if you want to counter Kira Nest, you really need BB-8 in there to keep taking a lot of turns, obviously, to have a lot of speed. But also for BB-8's daze and tenacity down. Because the tenacity down allows your R2 to stun Nest so that she doesn't keep countering and doesn't take you out. And having such a strong nest in there, it's quite dangerous to fight with Rage Jedi training if you cannot control her. So do I have another character that has both tenacity down and allows me to stun or daze in some way? And I actually do, because I took up my Kylo Ren Unmasked a while back to gear 12. So even though there is no particular synergy, I actually want to give that crazy team a try here. I'll take out T3. I'll put in C3PO, and then somewhere down the list here I should have my Kylo Ren Unmasked. So this is tricky. Kylo Ren Unmasked does tenacity down with his basic. He's got a 2-turn irresistible stun as well. And I currently don't remember if that goes through the potency tenacity check. I think it does. So we should always be able to get there. I think, I'm not quite sure, but I'll make sure that I land the tenacity down on Nest first so that I don't waste it. And I still have to deal with the tanks first anyway. So this would be my team composition. I'll have to make sure that if I use this, that I control Nest really quickly, because otherwise I'm going to get into trouble. Now, like I said, if it was a really important Grand Arena match, I wouldn't take this risk, but right now I kind of feel like doing it. It might be a lot of fun to do it, and then we'll see exactly how it turns out. So here goes nothing, and I hope that I don't regret this one. And I have to make sure that I play fast enough. So I'm going to put the taunt on Kylo Ren Unmasked here because he counters. I want to put this one on you. Dispel. Now I'm going to stun Stormtrooper Han here because I don't want him to taunt. Or I could obviously not do that, I guess. Get some turn meter control. And I'm going to start focusing on Vander Chewie here. And hopefully stun him. Yes. Now I'll put a stun on Nest and I can have a look if that gets... Okay, good. That's excellent. I want to control you a bit. And now hopefully get the kill shot on Vander Chewie. Almost. Keep the taunt up here. Don't want you to taunt. So there's a lot of control in this team. This should kill Vander Chewie here already, which is quite nice. Then I want to get rid of Kira soon. And now that... okay. Just gotta kill L3. Now I want to get my healing immunity on Nest as soon as possible. That's really quite important. Make sure you don't take a turn yet. Nest is definitely going to do an AoE here real soon. So hopefully I can reduce her turn meter. There we go. And now she's got days on her. Days for days. And then put the healing immunity. Heck, I'll give Kylo Ren Unmasked some translation. And now I just want to quickly cycle through the attacks. I'm just going to do basics. I should still have full turn meter on everyone. Yep. C-3PO might reduce the turn meter here and there, but it shouldn't really be a problem. Still got tenacity down on there. I don't want to daze. And I want to remain under stealth here. I will heal up Finn. And now I can do a big hit with Rey Jedi Training and put healing immunity. And I'll have to play a little quicker here. Because otherwise I might time out. So I'm going to start spam clicking through this, which is usually how you're supposed to play it against such a high relic Nest. One thing I could do is with Finn use his big special, so that if the turns line up so that Nest goes right after Finn, that I can instantly take her out with one big hit. So here I don't want to do a special with R2-D2 because I'll hit. I can do the stun and I'll do the big hit, and that gets me some progress. It's not much, it's a slow fight, so you have to especially hurry up when the rest of the team is still there. But once the rest is out, you do have to hurry up. Make sure you get through, use non-combat moves with people who aren't called Rey Jedi Training or Finn. See, making some progress. It's slow, but it gets the job done. And as long as Nest is stunned, she doesn't end up healing. But that's really quite important. You do really need to keep her stunned throughout the whole thing, or you're going to start getting into trouble. So Finn is up next. And there we go. 59 banners. Didn't need any relic characters over there. Could do it without BB-8 even. I made good use of my Kylo Ren Unmasked. So that's really nice. And now hopefully I find Padme in the back. There she is. Together with the Nightsisters. So I can use my Padme over here. And I can use my Traya over here and hopefully not get a repeat of my last attempt. So that was pretty nice. I got some good banners there. Though I'm not going to attack these just yet, as of course I should go through the top over here first, as that is a more important zone to clear, so that I can sort of de-risk the board and figure out a way to get through every single team. So I know what I want to use against these teams in the back, which means I need to take a look here and see what I want to do against the ones in the front. Now against Django, I generally don't want to use Geos. They have a lot of debuffs. They'll definitely fulfill the contract, I think, before I manage to kill too many of them. Maybe it's doable, but it's a pretty ugly fight and I will get hit really a lot. So I'm not a huge fan of doing that. I suspect that in the back here he will likely have his Grievous team. Definitely no General Skywalker, no Darth Revan. Might have an EP team, maybe that's a possibility. I don't know, there are some people who set it on defense, as long as it's fast enough. But more likely he has a relatively weak team over there. Although there's actually also this suspicion that I had when looking into his roster that he's going to have a First Order team there with General Hux lead, which I haven't fought before. So that should be interesting. I might find that at the back. So what I'm going to do here in the front is I think CLS this team. And then I have to look into what I want to do here. I need to reserve these three. I have my own Django team as well. So perhaps I could mirror, considering I have Dengar, which is the stronger version of the team. That could be an option. I could also use Bosk lead to have more tenacity, to stop them from landing debuffs, but then I lose the speed advantage, as I believe he is too fast for me. 292. Let me just quickly check my Bosk. 288, yeah, he would go before me. Not a huge problem, but if you can align the matchup in such a way where that doesn't happen, it's a bit nicer. Now I haven't used Bounty Hunters against a Newt team before, so I'm trying to think if that could be a good idea. Probably under Bosk lead. I might end up doing that. Even if I lose it, again, it's not a problem. I just haven't done it before. There's going to be a lot of extortion, which is no fun, but I can circumvent the taunt. Nobody can stealth because I have Dengar on my team, so that's quite nice. As long as Dengar is stealthed, nobody else can stealth, so that makes Dooku pretty useless here. So I think I'm going to give that a shot under Bosk lead. So Bosk, my Gear 11 Django, unfortunately, God, I want to relic that guy up, but it's just never a top priority. Another thought here could be to bring Watt as well instead of Cad Bane, to keep my Bosk topped up, because he will be taking quite a lot of heat from Mission, from Newt, etc. And I don't think I will need Watt anywhere else. Though I could bring him against the Padme team to make sure that Sion is the one taunting. I think I'll do that. So I'll take a little risk here and see if it pays off. Alright, so he stealths because Dengar isn't stealthed yet, but that should happen soon enough. I really have to be very, very careful of Droideka here. This won't hit him yet. And I'll likely have some trouble getting through Zalbar initially. Always cleanse the extortion. And this should heal the Bosk right back up. Thank you, Dengar. Oof, big hit there. Alright, I'm going to... If I attack Newt here, then he will drop Zalbar, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to go for Mission here. It's starting to look a little ugly though, so I've got to be careful here. I don't want to hit too many countering characters for a bit, because I've got to get Bosk back up in protection. So I'm going to try to get a big hit in there. This is nice because I can execute Newt, which means he won't come back. That's excellent. I can dispel Zalbar here and stun him. Just gotta find a way here. Yeah, I was afraid that might happen. Well, it's not a problem. This should kill. Yes. At this point, the extortion isn't gonna hurt me because there is no Newt left. But I might get in trouble with Dooku countering here. At least I've taken some characters out. What do I want to do here? I think I want to... I really have to be careful of Droidica here, though if he hits either of these two, it shouldn't be a problem. I think I'll just burn through Zalbar first. My mouse is currently lagging, weird. Okay. Yeah, Zalbar's stacking stats are really quite crazy. This is going to make him counter, but I have my payout now, good. Ugh, I was hoping it would go for anyone other than Dengar, but Dengar's alright. I'm kind of just waiting for the right moment where Dooku gets out of stealth and I can directly target him with my Boba here. Might take a while. Could already go for Droidica here, but doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of point before Zalbar is gone. Ah, this is unfortunate. Getting close. He's got crazy defense at this point. I definitely want to kill him now. I'm impressed Dengar is able to take the heat from Droidica, considering Dengar is just gear 11. Dispel you. So I lost Bosk, but I should be able to recover protection banners on Dengar here. As long as I can debuff. I will probably just pop this. I don't care about the one banner. Well, I lost some there, but in general it was an interesting fight. I had never done it before, and even with some gear 11 in there, I was quite alright against them. So that means I can CLS this one, and I will probably undersize that. Just going to leave Watt out. I can bring Old Ben for the AoE turn meter removal. I have already used C3PO, so yeah. I'll just do it like this. We start by stunning Bosk. Oh, that is brutal. Okay, I want to dispel Boba because I don't really feel like him taking a turn. Stun Canderous. That should be a kill. I want to get a stun in. Usually I like to smash, but in this case the stun might be handy. Wow, that was a big hit. I don't understand why Han... actually... Strange. So Cat hit twice and that made Han counter 3 times. I guess there would have been a 4th. Or something. Not quite sure. That's Boss gone. I'm looking good on protection for the most part. Let's get Django out of here before he does an AoE. And now I just need to get rid of him. Hopefully I can still recover the one on Chewie. Well, 59 is good enough. Alright, let's see the Grievous. I'd be really surprised if he would have kept his Grievous for offense. But CLS on defense, I saw him do that in the past, which works nicely for him because he's got a very powerful CLS team with quite a lot of relics. I don't know, I feel like he could have got more use out of this on offense. If I had a CLS team like this, I don't think I would be putting it on defense, but that's his choice to make. So the Grievous team here with what in this case? Let me just check. What's he modded like? Crit damage, health, health. Okay. So I'll probably just go for Padme first over here. Now let me just check the speed on her. Ooh, he's got a level 12 mod on her. Gotta fix that, buddy. If you're watching. Okay, he's got a relatively slow Padme, so that's okay. Lots of power on the rest probably. Yes, sir. Alright, let's go for Padme first here. And bring these guys in. Now I've done this before with just the 4 characters. I may end up doing that because perhaps I can use Watt to counter something else. Obviously don't want to fail here. but I think I'll be okay because Scion is going to go before most of them. Let's do it. Risking a battle to still get the full clear is always a bit dicey, but it can sometimes be the best choice. Ahsoka, please just go for Scion. Thank you. Well, she was forced to there because she did have the pain this time. But that's not exactly how it went last time, so. Usually I like to go for Jedi Knight Anakin first. But he already used his AoE. Hopefully he doesn't... Oof, that is awfully close. That is very unpleasant. Please nobody kill Thrawn, thank you. So here I get the drain off. Thrawn is definitely going to die. I'd be impressed if he makes it, but you never know. Let's see. Inflict pain. So who's going to take turns here? Who has pain? I could put it on Jedi Anakin because he is definitely going to kill me. I think Shaq is more likely to use a special. So I'm going to go for you here. No pain, unfortunately. Yeah, he's gone. Really thought she was going to use a special there. Well, it's not a problem. I now get to use my Annihilate, and I will take out Anakin first here, or I will trigger him. It's a pity about losing Thrawn, because otherwise I could recover a lot of banners. And I could refracture Padme, but I took that risk. So that's quite alright. Not going to isolate here. I think I want to get the kill. I can recover a bit of protection. Now I'll use it. Yeah, it's not the greatest on banners, but I want to try to clear the board, which will ultimately give me more banners. Wow, that's a very big hit from Shaq there. Yeah, so you see, even a high relic Padme can hit a tremendous amount. Gotta make sure that my Scion keeps drawing all of their attention, so I'm going to give them some pain. I want to try to ability block you. And now kill you. Now if I didn't lose Thrawn, what I would do here in the end is keep General Kenobi alive as long as possible, so that I could just keep turn meter swapping with Thrawn to everyone to recover all of their protection. And that's how I usually end up getting 61 banners from this fight. Now in this case, unfortunately, I'm fighting a much stronger team than most of the ones I go up against. So I didn't manage to do that, but it's not really a problem. Now I could try to stall more, but there's just not a chance I'm going to get Scion over that little hump there. So I'll just take the 55 and see what I can do against that CLS team. I mean, it would be a miracle if Geos can get anywhere, but you never know. So going to do Padme here next. And bring my own Shaq. Okay, that's a Relic 3 Spirit. She's taking a shot at Ahsoka here. I always like to call Padme first because she gives everyone protection up with her basic. And then I can immediately lose that protection up. Would be smarter for me to kick here. Maybe, but I'm going to go for the basic so that Mother Talzin does not plague me. And then I can counter her out. Very nice. Oof, close. Now whenever I see Foresight up on Spirit, I will go for Spirit to try to clear that. In fact, I think I'm going to kill her here. I have the courage, I might as well. And now I want to try to take out old Daka. Unfortunately didn't get the chance to. You always have to keep in mind the turn meter gains that they get under a Sage lead. It can come as a surprise here and there. Now she's got 16 stacks and she can dispel, so I'm just going to do that. This is always my least favorite moment of the fight. I will go for a Sage here. That was probably complete and utter overkill to use a special there. Dispel that and hopefully get the spirit in time. Yep. So no problems there. I mean, it's Padme versus Nightsisters. 59 banners, that's pretty good against such a relic team. Usually end up a little bit lower, so happy with that. And then it's time for Jedi Knight Revan. Time to get the boys in here with my lovely Gear 10 Hermit Yoda, who I would love to take to Gear 12, but like many characters, he goes on a back burner. Let's do it. So we start by doing the turn meter swap, and please don't misclick. Do another AoE. B2 is definitely triggered here. And then does nothing. Now I have to burn through Magna Guard first here. Unless there's this thing called direct focus. I could be going for what first, but I like to take out B2 instead, because it's just Gear 12. So I'll have an easier time doing that. And then hopefully I'll be able to get around Magna. And even if he brings him back like he does now, it's not the end of the world. It's not preferred, obviously, but it's also not an issue. So I'll just trigger him here, it's okay. I do want to take out Magna Guard here, but I still have a lot of protection. Hermit Yoda is close to dying here. I do have to be careful now to not kill B2 just yet. Health equalize. I can basic him. Don't really want to trigger him. Now I'm going to stun Grievous. Very nice. He's already maxed turn meter, so I can use this opportunity to lower the stacks on B1. Now B1 is very fast, though he's taken a tremendous amount of turns. And he keeps assisting, so I want to be careful. I don't want to kill off B2 because I'm not in a great position here. I will probably just hit what? Oops. 71k, that's an absolutely crazy basic right there. I did not see that coming, because I don't even have a whole lot of buffs. Okay, well, you're already triggered. I need to get foresight on myself here. And Jolie needs to take a turn soon. Like a real soon. That will trigger you. Don't be killing. He's going to kill him. I'm not used to fighting Gear 12s anymore. I think that's the issue. She just killed him off too quickly. Yeah, I was expecting to lose a bunch real quick here. I should be a bit mindful of the time as well. So this fight's obviously not going great at all. In hindsight, you're like, okay, maybe should have gone for B2 first, so that, for what first, so that B2 wouldn't be brought back. I don't think I'm going to cleanly one-shot this one, actually. Though it would be stupid to leave B1 alive here, I think. But I will just risk that. I need to get Jolie to take some turns, but looks a little bit dicey at this point. It's feels like a live operation. Yeah, if he goes for Jolie or it's game over, he doesn't have the revive available yet. So I think it's smarter here for me to kill B1, so I definitely have him dead. And then Grievous will go crazy, but it's okay. It's just the two of them left now. So that didn't go well at all. That's actually not how you're supposed to play this battle. I thought I would be able to deal with Watt before he could revive B2, which usually I can. But in this case, the turns were aligned in such a way where Watt went immediately after him. So I'll see what I want to do about that. And then start by going for the CLS team. I don't expect to win it, but you know, I might as well give it a shot. So the question is, who do I want to leave out for what? Because what can make this team slightly more survivable? I mean, I'm fairly sure that Han is just going to shoot straight through someone at Relic 3. So really not even sure if this is such a great idea, if I already know the answer. So I might just end up using my Geos to clean up the Grievous and call it a day. Well, let's just give it a shot. Nothing to lose really. And it puts me up for a bit of a challenge against the team. Now, I won't be able to ability block a whole lot of characters, so I'll leave out Poggle, I think, though he does have an extra cleanse. Geo Soldier provides all the turn meters. Spy is necessary for the big hits. Sunfac just adds a lot of health and protection, so I don't feel like I have a whole lot of a choice here anyway. So I'll go with that and get absolutely wrecked. Han will shoot first. Please don't shoot what? Of course he shoots what? Okay, well, that's the quickest game over. He knows. I wonder if they built it into his kit, much like they have built Jedi Knight Revan to always target Traya. I wonder if they thought of this as well in this scenario. Wouldn't surprise me. Would probably be a good AI decision, because it's also the decision that the player would make. I'm obviously not happy with it, but you know, it's what it is. So now I can hit this old Ben with his 7. Do I even have... Yeah, I figured I have offense down. This is not going to go anywhere, but let's hit him. 40k. Well, I have a pretty lousy spy, so... I could just end it here, but I'll give him the satisfaction of watching his CLS team kill my Geos. Because it's pretty rough. If you don't clear any zones, that's really not a lot of fun. I didn't anticipate that. I don't want to hurt anyone's banners that badly. So now I have to figure out an interesting challenge. How do I want to clear up Grievous and B2? So the best thing I can do is to first kill off B2, and then whatever I send in, it's going to get mowed down by them anyway. And then I can clean it up with something else. So I'm trying to think what would work nicely against B2. I need something that doesn't instantly die from a crazy Grievous. Though he ended with his AoE there, so in this case he would pick someone off. So what I think I will do, or consider, I'm just looking into it right now, is put Kira, Vandor, and L3. L3 Pretons. Grievous goes for L3. Then if they die, Vandor can always revive. And then I need something with firepower to kill B2, because there's nothing to heal him really. Don't want to use troopers there, because maybe I can use them for a cleanup. I could bring Droidica because of his damage immunity. That could be nice actually. Maybe Scavenger Ray, I don't really know. Dooku stuns could be nice, but he doesn't really have damage, so all of the damage would come from Droidica in this case, and that's not really something I'm very fond of. I could also bring Wigs behind these, but their damage is not, like, I mean, he's gear 12. It's not the worst either, but I would prefer to have Droidica in. I think he can pack a little bit more of a punch. So I might go with Scavenger Ray here. She does solid damage. Just gotta be careful that B2 doesn't start with Dispel and then either of these get picked off. But we'll see. Nice, you even survived. I'm impressed. Okay, so do the rolly, as people call it and should call it. Oh, I did not anticipate that I would pick him off so quickly. Now, I wasn't prepared here. Get it? I wasn't prepared for Grievous. Well, for me killing B2 and then Grievous picking me off. So I will just... Let me check this real quick again. Heal someone. Protection up, yeah. Now Droidica will stay alive for a bit here. Can hopefully lower the protection on Grievous. Nice. Yeah, he should be dead in a moment. Keep going, Grievous. Yeah, I really don't deal enough damage on him. People are used to seeing big hits from Droidica, but that's mostly because B1 is there with all the battalion stacks. But this was good enough. Alright. Now I'll send in the troopers. Ideally, obviously, you send in something with turn meter removal, healing immunity. That's nicer. I might still be able to gather some kind of group like that. Though I'm pretty limited in like gear 8, gear 9, etc. characters that can make any kind of dent. So I'd like to try my troopers here just for the firepower. I'm sure some of them will get mowed down immediately, but maybe they'll be able to make a difference. Just thinking if there's anyone in here that I would actually prefer in some other team. There's nobody who really has turn meter removal. Debuffs don't really matter. So let's just go with this and see how it goes. It's funny to watch as well. Please don't AoE. Oh wow, I go first. Oof, that's gonna be a rough ride for him. I think I'll go with the last attack because it deals more damage. If they're suffering debuffs, I'll definitely crit, but I have my crit chance and crit damage up, so let's give it a shot. It should hit a bit harder. It's just 20k, it's not a whole lot. I thought I would be close enough. But nope. And now he's going to start his healing. So this ain't going anywhere. And I will just end it with max health again, for sure. I mean, I could try to make it time out at this point. That's another option. Just make it time out so that he's left at half health, but even if he starts again and he doesn't attack, he will heal back to full. So I should just use some kind of cleanup team. Getting awfully close. If I could land a stagger and then someone would assist, that would be amazing. Oh, I'm going to get so disgustingly close here. But he's at very low turn meter, so perhaps timing out on this one could be a nice idea. As if he's slow enough, I can send in someone quicker, just whack him and game over this thing. So I'll do that. I don't think, there's no way that Death Trooper is going to hit hard enough here. So I'm just going to sit here for 3 minutes. Alright, there we go. Draw. Now I need to check how much speed does Grievous have. 224 plus that little bit that he had, so he will probably be somewhere around 250-ish, I think. So I'll have to see. I don't have a huge amount of quick characters laying around over here. Let's think, and there are also maybe leaderships that can help me speed characters up. Newt is pretty fast. Newt has a special that can put speed down, though that would get removed instantly. But he would use the extortion, and perhaps Grievous would cleanse that to recover health. So if I don't want to get hit in the first attack. That could be something that I could do to stop him from doing that. Yeah, let's give this a shot. Okay, I go first, but barely. Definitely have to do the extortion here. Oh, well, most successful cleanup of all time. I don't think I've ever actually had that happen before. That was pretty funny. Very underwhelming. I'm thinking forever and it was just one press of a button. Alright, well, there we go. CLS didn't work out. With what he said on the board, I wasn't going to clean that anyway, or clear that. I could have maybe done something with Bounty Hunters and Watt against the Nightsister team, but they have too many relics for me. It's not really realistic. I could have done CLS with Watt against the Nightsisters as well. Also really difficult with so many relics. And it would have meant that I had to use my Geos up against their Bounty Hunters, so things would have gotten pretty ugly. I like to clear, but I mean, I'm happy with the score. I'm happy with how far I got. Thanks to my opponent for an interesting match. Sorry to hear that it didn't quite work out for him, but I had a good time and could do some interesting fights. I really enjoyed the Rage Jedi training without BB-8 up against this team for 59 and 59 with Padme against Nightsisters as well. So that was fun. Something I never actually did is look at the feats. I have no idea what needs to be done. 100 stuns. Well, I got 48, so I still got to do 52. I'm not so much into the feats anymore ever since they started doing these weird things like beat something using Count Dooku, EP, and Sith Assassin. Like, I guess they want to release new content and this is their way to do it. It's just not something that I really enjoy. I get that it's necessary to give people something challenging if they want to go for the absolute top ranks, but I stopped doing that ever since some people started griefing and just setting absolutely their entire roster on defense. Or the times where you get someone who auto-deploys and you just can't clear it, and like out of a whole season, there goes your chance at a top 10 rank. There's just no way around it if you can't fully clear. So for me, that kind of took the fun out of trying to go for top ranks, as you try and you're really invested in doing it, and then ultimately it gets screwed over by someone who forgot to set their defense, which can totally happen, but it's not fun that it's built into the game mode in such a way where you're punished for someone not showing up. So that was it for my Grand Arena round. I had a good time. I hope you did too and learned some new things. If you have any questions, comments, leave them in the comments below, and I would love to hear from you. So take care, everyone. See you next round.